I reckon what you's wanting to know is what am I doing in here. I reckon the reason I'm in here is to cut out and kill somebody. But I reckon what you's wanting to know is how come you kill somebody. So I reckon I'd start at the front and tell ye. I lived out back in my mother and father's place most of my life in a little shed my daddy'd built for me. They didn't too much want me up in the house with the rest of them, so mostly I just sat out there in the shed looking at the ground. I didn't have no floor out there, but had me a hole dug out there to lay down in, quilt or two to put down in there. My father was a hard-working man most of his life. Not that I can say the same for myself. I mostly just sat out there in the shed, tinkering around with a lawnmower or two. Went to school from time to time, off and on. But the children out there, they'd very cruel to me. Made quite a bit of sport of me. Made fun of me quite a bit, so mostly I just sat out there in the shed. My daddy worked out there at the sawmill down to planer mill for an old man named Dixon. Old man Dixon was a very cruel feller. Didn't treat his employees very well. Didn't pay him too much of a wage. Didn't pay my daddy too much of a wage. Just barely enough to get by on, I reckon. But I reckon we got by all right. I used to come out, one or the other of them. Usually my mother feed me pretty regular. So I know he made enough where I could have biscuits and mustard 3 or 4 times a week. Old man Dixon, he had a boy named Jesse Dixon. Jesse's really more cruel than his daddy was. He used to make quite a bit of sport of me when I was down there at the schoolhouse. He used to take advantage of little girls in the neighborhood and all. I used to say that my mother was a very pretty woman. They said that quite a bit from time to time when I'd be down there at the schoolhouse. Well, I reckon what you'd want me to get on with it and tell you what happened, so I reckon I'd tell ye. I was just sitting out there in the shed one evening, not doing too much of nothing, just staring at the wall, waiting on my mother to come out and give me my Bible lesson. So I heard a commotion up there in the house. So I run up there on the screened-in porch to see what's going on, and I looked at her in the window. See my mother laying there on the floor, down in the clothes on. When I seen the Jesse Dixon, he's laying on top of her. He's having his way with her. I just seen red. I picked up a kaiser blade that's sitting there by the screen door. Some folks call it a Sling Blade. I call it a kaiser blade. It's kind of a long blade, long shaped kind of like a banana, sharp on one edge and dull down the other. What the highway boys used to cut down weeds and whatnot. Well, I went in there in the house and hit Jesse Dixon upside the head with it. Knocked him off of my mother. I reckon that didn't quite satisfy me. So I hit him again with it in the neck with a sharp edge and just plumb near cut his head off. Killed him. My mother, she jumped up from there and started hollering, "What'd you kill Jesse for? What'd you kill Jesse for?" Come to find out, I reckon my mother didn't mind much what she was doing to her. I reckon that made me madder than what Jesse made me. So I've taken a kaiser blade. Some folks call it a Sling Blade. I call it a kaiser blade. Hit my mother upside the head with it. Killed her.
Do you think you'll ever kill anyone again?
I reckon I ain't got no reason to kill nobody.